Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Jeff Stanislow, and you're listening to another great episode of Let's Go Low here on AM 820, the Big Eight in Tampa. Today, we have a special guest. Brittany Lincecum is joining us. Brittany, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
So we got an opportunity to meet each other at the Valspar, and what a great event! Watching the final day on Sunday together, and watching Fitzpatrick take his victory lap. And so I invited you to come on the show, and you graciously accepted. So I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was only a matter of time before he was going to win, and it was cool to be in my hometown and to get to see it because, I mean, he's been playing some great golf.
Yeah, he has. I mean, in the weeks leading up, he was right there sniffing the victory, and didn't unfold so well for him, but it was great to see him bounce back and take the W at the Valspar. So, Brittany, again, I appreciate your time. You have a historic career on the LPGA, and let's just take a little journey back when you were younger and starting to play golf. Like, what was the inspiration for you deciding to choose golf as a sport? I mean, you're very athletic and probably could have done a lot of things and maybe did some other sports, but what led you to golf as being the sport of your choice?
Yeah, I played boys baseball from the age of 9 to 12. So I actually picked up golf and baseball kind of same time. I was 9 for both, but my dad always played. He was probably a scratch golfer back in the day, like not a pro or anything like that, just your average, weekend golfer. Was
Your
pretty good.
average
And
scratch golfer.
yeah. I had two older brothers, and I just loved being with them. And we had this great par 3 golf course that was lit at night, and we would just go as a family, and it was just so fun. I mean, and a 9-year-old driving a golf cart, like how fun is that? And so yeah, those were the only two sports I played. And then when I turned 12, give or take, my dad was like, "Okay, girls don't play boys baseball. Like we need to probably stick with golf." So I said, "Okay," and obviously that was the right decision.
Fantastic. And you're a St. Pete, Tampa native, correct?
Yeah, born and raised. Yep.
And you're still here in the area. That's fantastic.
I am. I have family here. I love the water. I love fishing. There's a lot of good golf. The weather is pretty good year round. It's actually a great spot to live.
Fantastic. This is Jeff Stanislaw. You're listening to another episode of the Let's Go Low show here on AM 820. We're talking with Brittany Lincecum, the famed LPGA player. This episode is brought to you by Golfers Unite, golfersunite.com, and our friends at AMAC, the AMAC.us, the Association of Mature Adult Citizens. Brittany, the journey with the family, I think it starts a lot with golf. I think a lot of people just really love and enjoy the sport and start playing it with their parents or loved ones or a grandpa even, and just fall in love with it. And then you started playing competitively not much longer after you left baseball, because I'm looking at some of the stuff, and you were, you started competing relatively early, 18, 19 years old, making your start. Tell us a little bit about that segment from like saying, okay, I'm going to commit to golf,
Yep.
to you going to the highest level of professional golf in a short period of time.
Yeah, so my parents are school teachers. We own a daycare still to this day, and my parents are in their early 70s, so bless their hearts, they love it and still doing it. So, but we didn't have a lot of money or funds to be able to play the game of golf, and golf is very expensive. So, my dad was so great. We started locally, and then we kind of drove to Tampa, and then we just progressed very, very slowly. We only played junior tournaments that we could drive to, and it just kind of one after the next, just kind of kept cycling, and my skill kept going up, and I just love the game so much. It's just a wonderful game that everybody should play. And I started doing homeschooling in middle school, so 6th grade through high school. I actually did homeschooling just to dedicate more time to the game of golf, and that obviously really helped get me where I am today. And my parents and I decided, back then you could try to turn pro, and if you didn't make it, you could still go to college. So there was no harm to go try to turn pro, and I made it through my first try, and here we are 22 years later. So it's been a crazy ride. All thanks to my parents, for sacrificing everything to get me where I am. And it's just been a really cool journey.
Fantastic. You're listening to Let's Go Low here on AM 820, the Big Eight, and we're talking with Brittany Lincecum. This is Jeff Stanislaw, your host. This episode is brought to you by Golfers Unite. We'll put this episode and the others that we do on this show at golfersunite.com, and also our friends at AMAC, amac.us, the Association of Mature Adult Citizens. Brittany, so you got a nickname, and we got to talk about the nickname Bam Bam. I love it. It is great. It's fantastic, and it resonated throughout the LPGA. And is really just like there's probably two components of it. One is you got a really great bubbly personality, and then you hit the ball a long way. So tell us, like, who gave you the nickname, and how'd that stick?
Yeah, I'm hoping your viewers are of age of 21 and older, because I normally don't tell the story. Normally it's kids asking, and I just kind of go with the Pebbles and Bam Bam theme and just say that's why, and I hit it far. But it happened in Vegas. So two different LPGA players. One thinks it's because the Pebbles and Bam Bam and I hit it far. That's how I got it. But the other one swears it kind of started when we went to Vegas. Like 4 or 5 of us LPGA girls went to Vegas in my early 20s, and I was playing craps. I've never played craps. I just wanted to roll the dice. So I had $5. I put it on the pass line, and I rolled the dice for like 30 or 45 minutes for a very, very long time, made everyone a lot of money. And so my friend Christy McPherson would say, like, what number she wanted or how she wanted the dice, and I could throw it every time. It was the craziest thing and so funny. So anyway, Christy McPherson says that's how I got Bam Bam. Angela Stanford goes a little bit cleaner and goes with the Pebbles and Bam Bam theme. But either way, it's really funny, and it's been a great nickname.
That's great. This is Jeff Stanislaw. You're listening to Let's Go Low here on AM 820. Our special guest, Brittany Lincecum from the LPGA. Brittany, diving into maybe your first start on the LPGA, what was going through your mind or your head, and then we'll talk a little bit more about some of the majors and some of the other competition. But how nervous were you at that time?
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, you go through junior golf playing with the same competitors for 4 or 5 years, and then now you're thrown into the LPGA. You have no idea how to register. Now you have to book a flight and a hotel and do all these things. I'm so grateful. Even to this day, my parents still travel when I go to tournaments. They have been to every tournament I've ever been to, and my dad was my caddy my first year and a half. So that, I think, helped even further my career, just because it makes you more comfortable. A lot of these girls that are foreign come over from out of the country, and they have no support, and it's really lonely, and it's hard to figure out what to do and how to make it on the LPGA. So my first event was actually in Hawaii, and there's no way to prepare for 40-mile-an-hour winds. So I was playing a practice round. I actually got to play with Julie Inkster and Pat Hurst. I took money off of both of them. I think they obviously did better that week. I probably missed the cut, but it was just cool. They both took me under their wing right away. Were so welcoming. Hey, if you need anything, let us know. Gave me their numbers, which was great. But yeah, it was in Hawaii, and the weather was so bad, but it was just a learning process, and grateful. Again, my parents were with me, so that made it more comfortable. But it's definitely different. It's challenging. I said I should write a book about it, just to help the future rookies, when you come out, because you have no idea what you're doing, and it's
and you were young.
scary.
How old were you?
I just turned 19. I just turned 19. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. We're talking with Brittany Lincecum here on the Let's Go Low show on the Big 820 AM in Tampa. Shifting gears from your first start, you won eight events. You won 2 majors. Tell us about maybe your first victory, or even your first one when you said, hey, I can do this. I can compete at the highest level. Migrating your career, into a seasoned LPGA professional and majors winner.
Yeah, my first one is one of my favorites. Everyone always asks, what's your favorite highlight? Was it winning a major? Is it Solheim? What is it? And they never think my first win. My dad was my caddy. It was a match play event. Just like it kind of all came full circle. Your parents sacrificing everything. We moved multiple times. They put every dollar we had into getting me where I am. And so to have my first win on tour, my second year on tour with my dad caddying for me. I mean, it gives me chills thinking about it now. It's just a cool moment. And when somebody asks, what's your favorite moment on tour, it's hard not to throw that one in the mix just because it's such a cool moment for both of us.
Yeah, yeah. So the majors win,
Yep.
um, I think it was the HSBC, the World Match Play Championship. And you played against Julie Inkster at that time. And
Yeah.
so tell us, walk us through that one, or I think the Gin Open was the other major. And you were minus 10 then. And just like, what was it like to win that major? And then we'll talk a little bit about the Solheim Cup.
Yeah, the major was actually the first time it was the Kraft Nabisco, and the second time was the ANA Inspiration.
Okay.
But both I had to hit amazing golf shots into the 18th hole. It was a par five. I love a par five. Being a long hitter, I want to go for the green in two. So the first time I hit a hybrid, and I was just trying to hit it in the middle of the green. I was in the final group, so I knew where I stood. Was just trying to make a birdie, just see what happens. Two putt birdie and move on and see if we get lucky to get into a playoff or what have you. And I hit it to about 5 feet. I was shaking like a leaf and, trying to make a 5 footer. And I did. And that was my first major. The second time, similar situation, tees moved up. I'm going to go for this par five and two. I actually only had a 5-iron, hit the 5-iron at the middle of the green. It rolls up. It was probably more like 12, 15 feet. I didn't know where I stood that time. I tend to not look at the leaderboard. It just makes me more nervous. I said, hey, if I can make a birdie on 18, I'm just going to make a few extra dollars this week. And then I make the putt to make an eagle to get into a playoff against one of my great friends, Stacy Lewis. And I think it took us 3 holes to finally get the victory that time. That was a long playoff, but yeah, so grateful. I mean, that's one of our greatest traditions on tour is jumping in Poppy's Pond. So I got to do it twice.
Awesome.
Yeah, my dad the first time, dad got to do both times. And then my husband got to join me the second time, which was really cool.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
This is Jeff Stanislow. You're listening to Let's Go Low on AM 820, and we're talking with LPGA player Brittany Lincecum. Brittany, tell us a little bit about the Solheim Cup and what was that experience like? I'd imagine it was amazing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I've gotten to play on 6 teams and one time now being an assistant captain. And, we didn't have the Olympics back in the day. So Solheim Cup has always been our Olympics, and the Olympics are really hard to qualify for. So I always still think Solheim is our Olympics. But anytime you get to wear the red, white, and blue colors, represent your country, come together as a team, you represent your teammates, your captains, there's really no feeling like it. It is a very cool moment. And the pressure is just even more through the roof than normal, because if I miss a 3-footer, I'm just costing myself money. If you miss a 3-footer, you let your whole country down and your teammates down. So the pressure is a whole nother level. But it's cool to have a teammate inside the ropes, rooting you on, cheering for you, and just giving you that little push that you might need to kind of get you out of a hole. And but Solheim, I mean, it's the coolest. It's one of my coolest memories for sure.
Fantastic. We're talking to Brittany Lincecum, LPGA tour player. Brittany, I read that you retired from the LPGA, and I hope you can join us. We have another guest coming in with us in the second segment today that is, working and in an organization that's trying to help women play golf and apparel and things of that nature. But tell us a little bit about what you're doing now. Are you still actively playing? You doing tournaments? You doing guest shows with this and other?
Yeah. Yeah. So I keep saying semi-retired. Last year I played 6. This year I might only play 3, give or take. Still play a couple. It's still, once you're a golfer, you're always a golfer, and I still have a little status. So I'll just go play the ones the fun ones. So I mean, this next one's the first major of the year, which is it's fun, but it's like obviously the most pressure to tee it up in a major. But it's in Houston, and the Chevron does a great job at running the event. So I'm gonna go do that one. And then probably a couple in the summer where we can take the girls and travel. My oldest is in first grade, so she'll be done with school. So maybe Atlantic City, maybe Grand Rapids, where we have good housing and fun stuff to do. But yeah, kind of just a couple here and there. do some charity outings on the side as well, maybe. And then I actually just took over running my first tee of St. Petersburg. So we have two events that I'm going to be running for us. One is my big golf tournament that'll be in February. And actually one coming up this September is called the Fins and Skins. So it's a fishing and a golf tournament. So two things that I love. So I'm really excited for that. And but yeah, just helping the kids, raising money for kids, and just being a mom. It's great.
That's fantastic. Brittany Lincecum, thanks for joining us on this segment, and I'm glad that you're going to be able to, come back to us here after the break. Very exciting. We'll talk a little bit more about some of those initiatives that you got going on. This is Jeff Stanislaw, and this is the episode of Let's Go Low here on AM 820, brought to you by Golfers Unite. This and other episodes will be available at golfersunite.com. Brittany, hold on, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Jeff Stanislaw, and you're listening to another episode of Let's Go Low here on AM 820, the Big 8 in Tampa. We are picking up on our conversation from the last segment with our special guest, Brittany Lincecum. And Brittany, we talked a little bit about your career and some of the wins, some of the majors, the Solheim Cup and what have you. And we were talking a little bit about, what you're doing now as being semi-retired, not retired. You're still playing. You got a tournament coming up. You're going to play in the Chevron. I'd like to know a little bit more about that. But also you're doing a lot in the community for kids and fundraisers and things of that nature. Let's talk a little bit about that. Well, but let's first start with the Chevron. You're going to compete in a major coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, so I play golf only on Fridays, so you can only imagine how this is going to go. But it's just fun. It's still in my blood. I still want to be out there. They have a junior legacy pro-am the Sunday before, so I'll go out and do that and help the kids. And then we have a past champions dinner, I think on Monday or Tuesday. So that's always a good time to see old friends and catch up. And then I might as well stay and play in the tournament. I'm going to be there. So we'll see how it goes. But it's fun to kind of still be inside the ropes and feel the pressure and everything going through your veins. It's just, I can't cold turkey and just stop playing altogether since I've done it for 22 years now.
Fantastic. When is the Chevron in, this year?
It's coming up next week. So I leave this Saturday. I think it's the 18th. So it's a few days away, which I should probably start practicing.
I would imagine a lot of you mentioned that you get to see some friends that you probably golfed with and competed over the years. Mm-hmm. And then they have the Pro-Am where you can work with the younger generations of female golfers, trying to make their way to the LPGA. That is such a fantastic story. We also talked a little bit about what you do in the community to give back. First tee of St. Petersburg you're running.
Yes.
Gary Cope is a friend. He's a member at Avila, and I know he's actively involved in the first tee, and many other. Fred Ridley from the Masters and many others really support that organization. I've been to the charity events a couple times at Palmacia and what have you. It's always a great event. And then you have a couple other things that you're working. So the floor is yours. This is Brittany, LPGA player.
Yeah, I'm now running both of my events for the first tee of St. Petersburg, and I turned pro a long time ago. I've always wanted to give back to the community. Golf has given me so much that it's only right to give it back and support that next generation. And I know how expensive golf is as a child and how taxing it is on parents. So, we try to do scholarships or fundraisers and trying just to put clubs in the kids' hands to be able to give them the opportunity to play this wonderful game. It's just a cool organization. It's just down the road from my house. So it just totally made sense. And I think this last one was our 19th year. So we're coming up on 20 years, which is pretty incredible. But again, just wanting to get every child involved with the game of golf, and the first tee of St. Petersburg really does that.
That's fantastic. You mentioned something about Fins and Skins, that another organization that you're helping out or being a part of?
It's still for we're raising money still for the first tee of St. Petersburg, but this September, I'm pulling in two things that I really love, which is fishing and golf. So Sunday, September 13th, we're going to do, it's a half day fishing for the inshore slam. So redfish, snook, trout. And then depending on how many fish you catch, if you get all three, you get strokes taken off your golf game the next day. So you could be teeing it up on Monday at, 5-6 under par to start the day. So it's just going to be a great event, September 13th and 14th. And I'm bringing two of my passions together, and this is only our fourth year for it. So we're kind of trying to get it off the ground, and we'll see what happens.
Fantastic. Is there a website or something related to that where someone can go find information for the fins and skins?
I think so. I think it's on our First Tee of St. Petersburg website, or you can
Google.
Instagram me or send me a message. Yeah, that'd be great.
Fantastic. We'll put it up on our website at golfersunite.com
Thank
and set a link to the fins and skins and other things that you do. So I appreciate it. Brittany Lincecum, LPGA player. We are in our second segment talking to us. She was kind enough to extend. And we have another special guest joining us, Emily Nowak. And Emily is the founder of the Fairway Femme Club. She is a golf nut too, as well. I think we all are golf nuts.
Yes.
That's kind of a founding principle of what we do. And Emily, why don't you take a minute to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your background in the Fairway Femme Club, and then I know you have a few questions for Brittany.
Yeah, so I went to Ferris State, studied golf. I have been all over the country teaching golf, working in golf. Spent a lot of time in Palm Desert, so I know the Dinosaur tournament very well, and great one to win, big event in the area. But as I was working in the golf industry, something I saw was women weren't always as comfortable as men out there. They were intimidated or scared. So kind of my goal with that, with the Fairway Femme Club, is making them feel more comfortable, letting them know there is a space for them out there, and kind of making an online community for now, kind of for them to feel welcome and communicate and things like that. I know you work with the First Tee. You are very into getting people into the game.
Yep.
Do you have any advice for women who are kind of getting into the game for the first time? Something we see a lot is they go that first time, but either something scares them away or something intimidates them, and they don't go back that second time or aren't going back consistently.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for anybody getting into the game, women, anybody really?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're a godsend to be able to give lessons, and a female, like what better person to go take a lesson from than another female who can relate to what you're going through. When I think females are intimidated by the men, especially because they're going to top it or they're going to miss it and they're embarrassed. And if they can find a female coach, I think that's a big help. Also, our club here does women's clinics. So if you can find where to do like a ladies clinic, I think that is also way less intimidating, because if you hit a bad shot, it's not a big deal. It's not as stressful because you think, oh, the men are watching and they're expecting better of me. And at the end of the day, it's not a big deal. I'm just happy and grateful you're out there and you're trying it, and you're trying to learn a new thing. And it's so great. So yeah, I always think the ladies clinics are great. If you can find a friend, that's even better. Maybe go play, I would say 9 holes, but even if you just go play 5 holes, you don't have to play all the holes. Just go play a few here and there, but I think just stick with it. Nobody cares. Just go out there, have fun, and pick up the game, because it's such a wonderful game. Everybody should play.
Exactly. And nobody's looking at you as much as you think they are, for
I
sure.
think they think, especially pro-ams too, for us, they're embarrassed if they top it, shank it, whatever. And I'm like, I'm not getting paid for this pro-am. I just want you to have a good time. So if you hit a bad shot, it's not a big deal. Just have a good time.
Exactly. Yeah. And as that game is kind of growing, there's a lot of social media brands coming out. I'm kind of launching some of my own gear, so people kind of feel like they're a part of a country club. They can kind of wear that gear when they go out. As all that is building up, do you see any gaps or things where social media people can just attack and kind of go into the industry? Or do you feel like there's spots where people are maybe left out? Do you think there needs to be more First Tee programs, maybe start that online? Or do you think there are things like the First Tee? Do you think there's a gap of anything missing in the industry right now to kind of help grow it?
I don't think right now. Years ago, I would have said yes, but now with the First Tees, the LPGA girls golf program, really trying to grow the women's side of it. There should be more for grown women. Now that I'm thinking about it, there could be another space there that we could try to, elevate even the women, the senior tour for women. I think we have 3 tournaments. So even our side, as you get older, there's not a lot of opportunity. So maybe that is something we can grow. But I know the juniors, when I hear the numbers for these LPGA girls golf programs and they're just skyrocketing, that's really cool to see. It's cool to see colleges, thriving. But I think you're right, Emily. I think there could be a market for, 45 to 80, year old women that just kind of feel left out and don't have a space to go. So
I've definitely heard that, like, teaching under older women, they talk about how there's kind of a desert for competition kind of as you get older. You can try to make the US Open, you can play, but especially as like a PGA member, as a woman, you're playing with the men. Usually you're back at their tees. So for kind of that middle age, there's not really a huge spot for competition is what I hear.
Yeah, you are 100% right. And I have been meaning to go to our commissioner and really try to grow our senior tour. And I don't know if it's dropping the age to 40 to get, myself, Paula Kramer, Brittany Lang, Morgan Pressel, to get all like my generation of girls into it to kind of help, vamp it a little bit. And then you could maybe move the number back to 45. I don't know what the play is, but you are 100% right. Like looking forward, like I can't do anything until I'm 45. So now I'm just sitting around kind of playing a few LPGA where I can't beat these girls anymore.
You're in that limbo phase.
I'm in limbo. You're correct. Yeah.
This is Jeff Stanislaw. You're listening to Let's Go Low here on AM 820, brought to you by Golfers Unite. And we're talking with Brittany Lincecum, LPGA Pro, and Emily Nowak, who is bringing a brand on, designated online community and some brand apparel for women. And we're talking about some gaps in the market and some opportunities. And I think one of the things that you mentioned early on is just being intimidated, Emily and Brittany, as maybe a woman who is now in her 30s and wants to pick up golf. I think one of the things that maybe we could talk about briefly is just educating them on the process, like understanding the rules, understanding the etiquette, and, how do they just overcome that fear? Thanks for joining us again. But I'll let Brittany, what do you think you would do if someone's, maybe, 35 or 40, or kids are a little bit older and her husband's playing golf and she wants to go play golf? What would you recommend her to do?
Yeah, I mean, if you can find a female coach, I think that's very helpful. If you find other friends to go play with, that's the 9 and dine or 9 and wine, I think some ladies call it. That's always fun. But just go to the driving range, hit some balls, see how it goes. And I think the biggest thing, one practice swing and just play fast. If you miss it a few times, just kind of pick it up and move forward and go do it again. Like it's a great game, and I encourage everyone to do it, but it is scary, I'm sure, getting into it. So go to Top Golf or just go to the driving range or putting green and just try it. You don't ever know what's going to happen. But I think if you can find a female coach or find a friend that does it, I think that'll be way less intimidating to try.
Emily, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think the group setting is the way to go, and that's where we find women the most comfortable. They may go in scared, but give it 15 minutes in a group setting and they're perfectly fine. There's always those little things, like when you start playing at higher end places, accidentally walking into like a male only section or things like that unfortunately you will have to learn the hard way. Now you'll keep your eyes open, but I try to talk about things like that. Or sometimes the rules can be weird with like women with hats inside. So there'll always be those little challenges that you'll have to learn the hard way, but I think just getting out there is the biggest and hardest step.
For sure.
Well, maybe you two can talk a little bit more offline and come up with some ideas and some strategies, or do some collabs, I think they call it nowadays, these youngsters. Emily Nowak, founder of Fairway Femme Club, and Brittany Lincecum. Emily, if someone wanted to find out about your apparel and your content relating to helping to support women in golf, how would they do that?
Yep, I'm on all social media at Fairway Femme Club, and I have YouTube where I post a lot of women's golf history, touch on etiquette, things like that. So Fairway Femme Club on all socials.
Fantastic. Brittany, as we kind of continue here, we got a couple more minutes. What would you like to see going on in the game of golf in general. I mean, there's so much discussion and controversy about the LIV and the PGA. You even mentioned the senior LPGA doesn't have enough events. You know, you read it, you're in it, your network is in it. I mean, if there's something that, you know, is on your mind that you think, hey, this needs to happen for the better of the game of golf, what are some of your thoughts if you could wave a magic wand and think you would make golf better?
I mean, especially the LPGA is such in a great spot. You know, when we had Mike Wan, he crushed it, and now our new Craig Kessler, he's doing a great job, even though he's new. You know, we have 32, 33 events on the schedule, which is crazy. The majors have really stepped up their game, you know, doubled the purses, which is incredible. I would love to be a rookie now. But just to see it continue to grow, you know, we're not asking for equal pay as the men. We're just trying to bridge that gap a little bit. And you see, you know, with Rory winning, or, you know, see their checks and our checks, it's like, yikes, we have a long way to go, but we're getting better. So just kind of bridging the gap a little bit there. And we have so many great players. You know, when I came on tour 100 years ago, you know, 2 over par made the cut every week, and now it seems 2 under pars making the cut every week. So the quality of golf is so much better. We still have a few events on the lower side of the pay. You know, maybe those could even transition to the Epson Tour to give them a little bit of a bigger purse to play for. Definitely want to see the senior tour grow, because obviously I'm going to be there in a few years and would like somewhere to go play when I'm, you know, done. It's hard to shut it down again cold turkey and not have anywhere to go play. So that would be really cool to see. But in junior golf, I mean, it's thriving and doing well. So I think golf all in all is really in a great spot.
Yeah, golf is hot right now. Brittany Lincecum, thanks for joining us. Emily Nowak, thanks for joining us as well. What a great episode of the Let's Go Low show here on AM 820, brought to you by Golfers Unite. We'll put this episode up on our website, golfersunite.com. And the sponsor, thank you for amac.us and our friends at Back Nine Golf Carrollwood, which is opening up the 1st of May. What a great time. And I would love to have you back, Brittany and Emily as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Brittany.
You're welcome.
Hey, it's time for Let's Go Low with Jeff Stanislaw here on AM 820. We are live from the Heights Country Club, recording this show for you, our fellow golfers. And again, thanks for tuning in to Let's Go Low, brought to you by Golfers Unite. Today, our special guest here with us in our studio at the Heights Country Club is Michael Melendez, and Michael is with Campus Course. How are you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing well, Jeff. Good to be here, man.
Well, thanks for joining us, and thanks for joining the show. We're talking all things golf. We got what's going on with the tour. We got what's going on with products and merch, and we got business. We're going to talk business, and we're going to talk a lot of different things. We have social media influencers. We have everybody in the golf world here. Michael, so you're with Campus Course. Why don't you give us a little backstory on what Campus Course is and how it got started?
Yeah, well, Campus Course founded 2 years ago. It is essentially a premium collegiate licensed apparel brand. And so our goal is to live at the intersection of college pride and golf lifestyle. And so rooted here in Florida, officially licensed through Florida State, Florida, USF, UCF, University of Tampa. And our niche is twofold. One, the actual products are rooted in the college colors, so these iconic colors. And two, we give you the opportunity to customize. And so a lot of your men's brands give you just a cookie cutter logo on the chest. With our brand, you go online, you pick your favorite school logo, and you can pick where you want to place it. You could put on the chest, you can put on the sleeve, you can put on the back of your neck. Everything's custom embroidered. And so we're really excited about it. It's a premium offering, and it's something we're proud to bring to the table.
Fantastic. You're listening to Jeff Stanislaw, and this is Let's Go Low here on AM 820 every Saturday morning at 8 a.m., brought to you by Golfers Unite. Michael Menendez from Campus Course is with us, and we're recording here at the Heights Country Club, which is probably Tampa's best semi-private country club. If you guys want to check it out for sim action, got great things going on here. Have a pool table, card room, lounges, and top of the line Pro TV X Sim. You can check it out. Just search Heights Country Club on Google and give them a like, follow, and call if you're interested. Well, Michael, take us back on starting Campus Course. What was the backstory behind it? Why did you start it? What type of gap or what type of need do you think that you're filling?
Yeah, first of all, I grew up golfing. Not a country club guy, but I picked up a club, Tiger. I like to tell folks, Tiger's definitely the most influential athlete of my era because he led me to pick up a golf club and something that personally and professionally has meant the world to me. And so grew up golfing, had a passion for it. My background is collegiate athletics as well. And so I spent 15 some odd years as a Division I administrator, spent time at Florida State, at Rutgers University, and at Rice University, overseeing external operations of a Division I collegiate program. During that time, I oversaw our partnerships with the apparel brands, so Nike, Adidas, and I saw that they were getting further away from one, quality and cut, and two, the colors of the schools. A lot of neutral, a lot of whites, grays, blacks are coming down the pipeline, and my donors and supporters were in love with it. When I left college athletics, I then saw the gap. I realized that you had the Nike product, the Adidas product, that legacy product, and then you had this luxury offering of Millar and Johnny O, which is good stuff, but the price point isn't the appetite for many isn't there for $150 college polo. And so I dug in and I spent 18 months figuring out supply chain, figuring out who these brands were using to manufacture overseas. Got that all lined up, and in June of last year, we went live with sales. And so for me, it is something I'm passionate about, is really being licensed, rooted in the college so that our revenue from our sales go back into royalties are paid. So go back to the student athlete scholarship funds and really continue to grow. That's where our niche is going to be, is you're a premium product at that $95 to $110 price point that you can customize and make your own. And that will be rooted in the colors of your school. So when you wear it to a game, a tailgate in the stadium, there's no qualms, there's no confusion over who you're cheering for. You're in there with your colors.
Fantastic. That's Michael Melendez from Campus Course talking about the story. Yeah, Tiger Woods, changed the game of golf. He kind of took it from from what it was and just exploded the game, and glad you were influenced by Tiger. Of course, I was influenced by Tiger as well, and so many millions more. But kind of circling back, this is Jeff Stanislaw. You're listening to Let's Go Low here on AM 820 Saturday mornings here in the Tampa greater market. You can also go to golfersunite.com/radio if you're interested in being on the show, or you want to check out previous recordings. We have those on our YouTube channel and everything you want to know about the radio show. But we're live here today from the Heights Country Club in Tampa, premier semi-private simulator. Got a great sim, Pro TVX, overheads, plus pool tables and cards and a lounge area. So you got to check it out, the Heights. Michael Melendez from Campus Corner. So inside your kind of research and into the marketplace and your experience and what have you, and lining all this up, it's been a couple of years in the making, and you're doing sales. So you're live now. If someone wanted to check out your products, where would they go?
Yeah, you would find us at campuscourse.com, right? So our primary vehicle right now is direct consumer via our website. And then also you can find us locally if you're in the Tampa area at Heads and Tails. We're sold there. We're sold at a few country clubs in the area, Bel Air, Avila. There's a marketplace there where for us with the country clubs, we go in and we offer them an opportunity to have a collegiate license polo in the school's colors, and we can match up their club logo to that school. So now, as a club member, you can pick up any Florida polo off the rack anywhere, but we can't get is a Florida polo of your club that's unique to you. And so that has been a fun kind of niche that we've started to carve out. And between online on our own website, you can go to Alumni Hall to get some of our merchandise as well. So we'll continue to grow our footprint, continue to slowly build our market share, but we're excited about what our trajectory.
Fantastic. This is Jeff Stanislaw. You're listening to Let's Go Low here on AM 820, and thanks for tuning in. We're live from the Heights Country Club this morning, talking with Michael Melendez from Campus Course. So you hooked up with the Slattery brothers then if you're at,
Yeah,
Bel Air.
yeah. Both those guys, man. So Chris was a champion from the beginning. He's a Knoll. And so it was good to get with him early and then got out to Bel Air. And I'll be honest with you, when I went to Bel Air and met with them, I didn't realize that his brother was there. Until, I didn't put two and two together. Myra, who oversees her purchasing, she was a great champion for our brand as well. And so, yeah, we've got some courses in Jacksonville and Orlando. That's been a fun footprint to build out, is to get them on the backs of our club golfers. But for us, it's continuing to really kind of mature. We'll do some stuff diving in with youth golf. The first tee program's very important to me, and so finding ways to be involved there.
Sure.
Then also there's this, the collegiate. What's so excited about collegiate golf is the awareness and the pipeline now that's being built to the PGA Tour. I think more and more folks are getting aware of these just awesome amateur golfers. And those kids are getting more opportunities to play outside of intercollegiate play, right? So they're out there qualifying for events. They're making their own name outside of just their team play, which is really exciting. So we're trying to get involved there, and kind of our goal is to get on the back of someone early, and be with them from their high school days into college, and hopefully be on their bag when they get to the pro circuit.
Yeah, that's a good strategy to go to. Be happy to make an introduction to Gary Koch over at First Tee and some of his people. I'm a member at Avila, so I see your stuff, and it's fantastic, and it's really good. This is Jeff Stanislaw. You're listening to Let's Go Low here on AM 820. We're broadcasting live today from the Heights Country Club in Seminole Heights, semi-private sim. If you guys get a chance to do a little search up, Heights Country Club, and check it out, man. It's really cool. I got a Pro TVX simulator. You got a couple lounge areas, putting green. You got pool tables and card rooms. So it's a fantastic place to check out. And so we're talking with Michael Melendez from Campus Course. Now, Michael, you said, the whole college scene. I mean, obviously, like, you got the good guys, you got the DOD Kings, you got this young Grant Horvacks of the world. I was at the PGA show, and they were just as big a draw as Bubba Watson was. Mm-hmm. Everybody wanted to meet him and see him and check out this whole influencer market. And that has a lot to do with what the college kids are wearing. Let's talk a little bit about, the name and likeness you mentioned, and, what kind of challenges did you have with that? How does that work? I'd imagine that's something you got to really think through from your strategic standpoint.
Yeah, that's a great question, Jeff. And so I've been fortunate to get paired up with Coach Bradley over at USF off the bat. And so one thing with, similar to every program at a collegiate institution, their players need to wear their partner's apparel, right? So for example, USF's an Adidas school. So when they're competing in an NCAA sanctioned event, they're in their Adidas polo and typically their Adidas hat. The beauty is that a lot of these young men and women who are playing college golf are playing a lot more events outside of their NCAA sanctioned stuff. Certainly. And they're practicing, they're posting on social. And so we outfit USF with polos and hats that their young men wear in practice. When they're playing in a non-sanctioned event, they're out there wearing it. They had a young man who actually won a non-sanctioned event in our stuff a few weeks back. And so all of that for us is the way we'll continue to build that credibility, kind of be with those athletes early. We're already working with the program. There's some, seniors in high school that have committed to USF that they'll have some of our stuff because, like I mentioned, our goal is, a guy like Miles Russell, who's the, top amateur in the country. He's going to Florida State alongside of Charlie Woods. Yeah, those guys. Miles has been a tailor-made guy for since he was 12 years old, right? So that's not someone we can get on. But can we find a young bloomer, right? Someone who blossoms late, be with them early, and then watch them progress in their career, and hopefully, whether it's the Korn Ferry Tour, whether it's PGA, it doesn't matter. Let's see how we
got to get the early adopters.
Yeah, get the early ones. Get the early ones. I tell you what, I'll talk about USF a little bit. I mean, he's got a program. Yeah. He's got some guys who can play right now, and he's got some guys who just graduated or are out doing big stuff on the professional scene as well. And so, that is kind of a part of the essence is get them apparel, get them stuff they can practice in. If they post it on social, awesome, even better. But really, just want to make sure we outfit them so they can feel it and and understand the quality of what we bring to the table.
Yeah, and start building those relationships early. So
Yep.
we're talking with Michael Melendez from Campus Course, and it's campuscourse.com, correct?
Campuscourse.com. Yep.
Yep. If you want to check it out, we'll put a link up on our website at Golfers Unite, and that's golfersunite.com. If you're interested in being on the radio show, go to golfersunite.com/radio. Have some information, and you can fill out a form if there's an opportunity if you want to be on the show as well. We're live here at the Heights Country Club in Tampa, semi-private sim that you guys might want to check out. And so talking a little bit about, we got a few minutes left, structuring deals with licensing for colleges. Just walk us through, what does that take and how does that work? I mean, I'd imagine it's not as easy a lot of people think.
It is not, Jeff. It really is. And I think for me, my background being in college athletics, it gave me a leg up. And quite frankly, the licensing for college, anyone can go apply, and there's tons of different sectors and niches you can apply to. Men's apparel is a very saturated, competitive marketplace, and collegiate licensed apparel. So there are more companies that are rejected daily than are accepted for the year. And so for me, my background, college athletics gave me a leg up, even though I had a startup brand that had no revenue. I really probably had, in a typical marketplace, had no business getting the licenses I got, but they trusted my credibility. They trusted my partner, who's the director of licensing, who has 15 years of licensing experience.
Fantastic. It's always a good partner to have.
Always a good partner to have. And so I think for us, you're 100%. The licensing aspect, there is a trust that you need to build with the school, that university, because you are a steward for their marks, for their everything they stand for. You got to make sure you deliver an appropriate product, and you got to make sure you report that the appropriate way. So that's a big part of it. That's a big part of what we do.
Yeah. Michael Melendez, Campus Course. Any new colleges coming on board quick, and then we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah. So I mentioned we're licensed through the big schools here in Florida. Rutgers University is the next one coming on board. Rutgers is important to me, my story. That's where I started my career in college athletics. One, and then two, a huge alumni base, and a big part of it based here in Florida. So it'll continue to kind of help us ingrain ourselves within the golf culture in the state, and excited to bring on the Scarlet Knights.
Well, we're happy to have you here today. This was Michael Melendez from Campus Course. If you're interested in getting some licensed product, you can go to their website at campuscourse.com. Michael, thanks for joining Let's Go Low show here on AM 820 in Tampa, where we're going to bring you guys great stuff all around the golf world, behind the scenes. I'd like to thank you again for joining us. And again, if you're interested in becoming on the show or checking it out, or you want to listen or stream it, go to golfersunite.com/radio, and you can learn all the great information. Until next time, Michael, we appreciate it. Let's go low.
Thank you, Jeff.